Have you ever noticed that after 60, your body doesn't seem to bounce back the way it used to? You wake up feeling stiff, your energy takes longer to arrive, and small discomforts linger longer than they should. Many people quietly assume this is just aging. But what if part of the problem isn't your age at all, but what your body receives in the very first hours of the day? The morning is when your body is most sensitive, most receptive, and most ready to repair itself. Yet this is also when many older adults unknowingly give their body the wrong signals. Over time, that can lead to more inflammation, weaker muscles, slower digestion, and lower energy without any clear warning signs. My name is Dr. Nelson, and I've spent many years studying how the aging body responds to everyday habits, especially nutrition. What science shows us is reassuring. Even after 60, your body still knows how to heal if you support it correctly. Today, I'll walk you through 5 simple morning foods that work with your body's natural repair systems. These are not medicines, not supplements, but familiar foods that can quietly support your heart, muscles, digestion, and energy when eaten the right way at the right time. Let's begin with the first and most foundational one. Stay with me, because what you'll learn next may change how you look at your morning routine from now on. 1. Oatmeal. Why the first bowl in the morning matters. More after 60. If you're watching this in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, chances are your mornings don't feel the same anymore. You may wake up slower, feel stiffness in your joints, or notice your energy takes hours to arrive, if it arrives at all. Many older adults quietly worry that this is the beginning of a steady decline, that their heart, digestion, or circulation is slowly slipping out of their control. What often goes unrecognized is how much the very first food of the day influences these fears becoming reality or staying manageable. In the morning, your body is in a fragile but powerful state. Blood sugar is low, stress hormones naturally rise, and your blood vessels are more sensitive than later in the day. This is not the time for harsh spikes or empty calories. Oatmeal works differently. From a medical standpoint, its soluble fiber helps slow glucose absorption, reducing strain on the heart and blood vessels. Something especially important for older Americans concerned about blood pressure, cholesterol, or family history of heart disease. There's also a quieter concern many seniors don't talk about: inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is linked to joint pain, brain fog, and fatigue that feels unexplainable. Oatmeal feeds beneficial gut bacteria that help calm inflammatory signals throughout the body. When this process is supported consistently, many people notice less stiffness in the morning and a clearer head by midday. Not because the body is younger, but because it's less irritated from the inside. This applies most when oatmeal is eaten in its simplest form, especially on mornings when you feel sluggish, bloated, or mentally slow. It may not be ideal if loaded with sugar or eaten alongside highly processed foods, which can cancel out its benefits and quietly worsen blood sugar swings. Over time, misunderstanding this can lead to more fatigue, worsening digestion, and a growing dependence on medications instead of daily habits. After hearing this, the practical step is simple. Choose plain oats, eat them slowly, and notice how your body responds over the next few hours. Small consistency matters more than perfection. And once your foundation is set, the next question becomes critical. What morning food helps protect your strength and memory as muscle loss quietly accelerates after 60? 2. Eggs. The quiet morning support for strength and memory after 60. After starting your morning with something gentle and grounding like oatmeal, many older adults still feel an unspoken worry linger in the background. It's the fear of becoming weaker year by year, of noticing legs that tire faster, arms that don't feel as steady, or a mind that occasionally struggles to find the right word. For Americans over 60, this isn't just about strength or memory, it's about independence, dignity, and staying in control of daily life. From a medical perspective, one of the biggest hidden changes after 60 is the gradual loss of muscle and nerve efficiency, even in people who appear healthy. This process happens quietly, often without pain, until everyday tasks like climbing stairs or getting out of a chair begin to feel harder. Eggs play a unique role here because they provide complete, highly usable protein that aging bodies can still absorb efficiently in the morning, when muscle repair signals are most active. There is also a cognitive side many seniors worry about but rarely say out loud. Mild forgetfulness, slower thinking in the morning, or mental fog can feel unsettling, especially for those who pride themselves on clarity and self-reliance. Eggs contain choline, a nutrient essential for brain signaling and memory pathways. When eaten earlier in the day, they support the brain at a time when it's transitioning from rest to alertness, helping many people feel more mentally steady as the morning progresses. This approach is most helpful on mornings when you feel physically weak, mentally sluggish, or notice your energy dipping too quickly after breakfast. However, preparation matters. Eggs cooked in heavy butter paired with processed meats or eaten in excess can add unnecessary strain to digestion and cardiovascular health. Over time, misunderstanding this balance can quietly work against the very strength you're trying to protect. The practical step is simple and realistic. Aim for 1 to 2 eggs in the morning, prepared gently, boiled, poached, or lightly cooked with a small amount of olive oil. Pay attention not just to how full you feel, but to how steady your energy and focus remain over the next few hours. Once strength and memory are supported, another concern often rises next: the fear of heart rhythm changes, nerve sensitivity, and sudden fatigue. And that brings us to a surprisingly simple morning food that directly supports your heart and nervous system. 3. Bananas, a gentle morning shield for the heart and nervous system. After 60. After supporting muscle and memory with eggs, many older adults still carry a quieter concern into the morning: the fear that their heart feels less steady than it used to, or that their nerves don't respond as smoothly as before. You may notice occasional palpitations, shaky hands, leg cramps, or sudden waves of fatigue that seem to come out of nowhere. For Americans over 60, these moments can trigger a deeper worry: is my body becoming unpredictable? From a medical standpoint, one overlooked factor behind these sensations is gradual mineral imbalance, especially potassium. As we age, medications, reduced appetite, and changes in kidney function can all lower potassium levels slightly without obvious warning signs. Potassium plays a critical role in heart rhythm, nerve signaling, and muscle contraction. When levels dip, the heart works harder, nerves fire less efficiently, and muscles fatigue more easily. Bananas offer a simple, natural way to support this system in the morning. They provide potassium in a form the body absorbs gently, without the abrupt shifts that supplements can sometimes cause. Eaten earlier in the day, bananas help relax blood vessels, support steady nerve communication, and promote smoother muscle function as your body transitions from rest into activity. Many seniors notice fewer cramps, steadier hands, and a calmer heartbeat when this support becomes part of their routine. This is especially helpful on mornings when you feel weak, lightheaded, or notice your legs feel unsteady when you first stand up. However, moderation matters. Bananas contain natural sugars, and eating them alone, especially in large amounts, can raise blood sugar too quickly in some people. Over time, misunderstanding this balance may lead to energy crashes, worsening fatigue, or concerns about glucose control. The practical approach is simple and realistic. Limit yourself to 1 medium banana in the morning and pair it with protein or healthy fats, such as eggs or yogurt. This slows sugar absorption and keeps energy levels more stable. Pay attention to how your body feels not just immediately, but an hour or two later. That's where the real signal lies. Once the heart and nerves feel more supported, another hidden issue often remains beneath the surface: chronic inflammation that quietly stiffens joints, clouds thinking, and drains energy. And that brings us to the next morning food that helps protect your body from aging at the cellular level. 4. Nuts and seeds. Quiet protection against inflammation that accelerates aging. After supporting the heart and nervous system, many adults over 60 are left with a deeper, harder-to-name concern. It's the feeling that the body is slowly becoming stiffer, heavier, and less cooperative. Joints that ache longer in the morning, fingers that don't move as easily, a mind that feels less sharp by afternoon. For many older Americans, this creates a silent fear. Is my body wearing down from the inside even if my tests still look normal? From a medical perspective, one of the strongest drivers behind these changes is chronic low-grade inflammation. This type of inflammation doesn't feel dramatic. It doesn't send you to the emergency room, but over time it quietly damages joints, stiffens blood vessels, weakens bone structure, and interferes with brain signaling. After 60, the body becomes more sensitive to inflammatory triggers, especially poor food choices early in the day. Nuts and seeds play a unique role here. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds contain anti-inflammatory fats, antioxidants, magnesium, and plant compounds that help stabilize cell membranes and reduce inflammatory signaling. When eaten in the morning, they help slow digestion and prevent sharp blood sugar swings, which are a major contributor to inflammation in older adults. This steadying effect often translates into fewer energy crashes, less joint stiffness, and a calmer nervous system as the day unfolds. This approach is most helpful on mornings when you wake up feeling stiff, achy, or mentally foggy, or when you know you'll be physically active later in the day. However, portion size matters. Nuts are calorie-dense, and eating large amounts or choosing heavily salted or sugar-coated varieties can add unnecessary strain on digestion, blood pressure, and weight management. Over time, misunderstanding this can quietly worsen the very inflammation you're trying to reduce. The practical step is modest and sustainable. Aim for a small handful of nuts or 1 to 2 tablespoons of seeds in the morning, ideally added to oatmeal or yogurt. If chewing is difficult, soaking or grinding them makes them easier to tolerate. Pay attention to how your joints and energy feel by midday. That's where the benefits often show up. Even with inflammation under better control, one critical system still determines how well all of this works: your gut and immune balance. And that leads us to the final morning food that supports your body from the inside out in a way many seniors overlook. 5. Yogurt, restoring the gut and immune balance that aging quietly weakens. After addressing inflammation, many older adults still feel an underlying vulnerability they can't quite explain. It's the sense that their body doesn't handle things the way it once did. Digestion feels slower, energy dips come unexpectedly, and getting sick seems to happen more easily and last longer. For Americans over 60, this often creates a private fear. Is my immune system quietly failing me? From a medical perspective, much of this concern traces back to the gut. As we age, the diversity and strength of beneficial gut bacteria naturally decline. This affects far more than digestion. The gut plays a central role in immune regulation, nutrient absorption, inflammation control, and even mood. When this balance weakens, the body becomes more reactive, slower to recover, and less efficient at using the nutrients you consume, even if your diet looks healthy on paper. Yogurt helps address this problem in a gentle, practical way. It provides live probiotic cultures that support gut bacteria responsible for maintaining the intestinal barrier and communicating with the immune system. When eaten in the morning, yogurt supports digestion at the very start of the day, helping the body better absorb minerals like calcium and magnesium, as well as B vitamins that are critical for bone strength, nerve function, and mental clarity in older adults. This support is especially valuable on mornings when you feel bloated, constipated, low in energy, or notice that minor illnesses seem to linger longer than they used to. However, not all yogurt works the same way. Flavored or sweetened varieties can contain more sugar than many desserts, which feeds harmful bacteria and promotes inflammation. Over time, relying on the wrong kind of yogurt can quietly worsen blood sugar balance and digestive discomfort, undermining the very system you're trying to protect. The practical step is straightforward and realistic. Choose plain Greek yogurt or unsweetened natural yogurt with live cultures. Start with a small bowl in the morning and add your own fruit, nuts, or a drizzle of honey if needed. If dairy doesn't sit well with you, plant-based yogurts with added probiotics can still offer benefits. The key is consistency, not quantity. When the gut is supported, the immune system becomes steadier, inflammation calms, and the body responds more predictably day to day. And when you step back and look at all 5 of these morning foods together, an important realization begins to form. Healthy aging isn't about one miracle food, but about how small, intentional choices work together to support your body over time. 6. Final thoughts. Protecting your health by starting the day with intention. As we grow older, the body becomes more delicate, not weak, but more sensitive to small signals. After 60, recovery takes longer. Warning signs are quieter and many risks develop not during busy hours, but silently at night while we sleep. Blood sugar can dip too low, blood pressure may fluctuate, inflammation can rise, and the immune system does much of its repair work without us noticing. This is why what you do before those hours, especially how you begin your morning, matters more than most people realize. The 5 morning foods we discussed are not cures and not shortcuts. Their real power lies in something deeper. They work with your body's natural systems instead of forcing change. Oatmeal supports steady circulation and calmer digestion. Eggs help preserve strength and mental clarity. Bananas gently stabilize the heart and nerves. Nuts and seeds reduce the slow inflammation that stiffens joints and clouds the mind. Yogurt restores gut balance, which quietly influences immunity, recovery, and even mood. Together, they form a foundation, not dramatic but reliable. For many older adults, the greatest danger isn't illness itself, but misunderstanding, assuming fatigue is just aging, ignoring stiffness, poor sleep, or brain fog until they become harder to reverse, or relying too heavily on medication while overlooking daily habits that could reduce strain on the body. When these patterns continue, the next 1 to 5 years may bring faster loss of mobility, more nighttime discomfort, greater dependence, and fewer good days than necessary. But the future doesn't have to follow that path. When you understand what your aging body needs, adjust gently, and act consistently, you give yourself something powerful. Time. Time with more stable energy. Time with clearer thinking. Time with fewer preventable setbacks that steal independence. Healthy aging is not about perfection. It's about awareness, paying attention to how your body responds, making small, informed choices each morning that protect you through the night and into the years ahead. Your body still knows how to heal and adapt, but it depends on you to give it the right support. And sometimes the most important protection doesn't come from doing more, but from finally doing the right things, starting with the very first meal of your day. If this video helped you understand your body better, please give it a like, share it with someone you care about, and leave a comment below to tell us what part mattered most to you.